and come check y'all out.
Well, we're one of my favorite places. Conversation with one of the greats and what this office said. I'm 𝘿𝙬𝙤𝙤. I'll talk with him.
So, fall transit.
Ticket. Hopefully this goes on a replica out of that 20.
Welcome to your live coverage. At 8 pounds with the current right up there.
See how it shakes out. That's it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dog Talk of West Virginia. I'm your host, 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤. And, of course, right here on Dog Talk, we cover everything bass fishing in and around West Virginia. Thank you all for joining us this evening. As you saw the post there just a couple days, this is your double live event for this weekend. And, of course, an exciting night tonight. We've got DION 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤, your Bass Nation, a West Virginia youth director, on standing by on video chat to join us to discuss everything youth tournament fishing in West Virginia with Bass Nation of West Virginia, including the state championship coming up here in just a few weekends. Also, we'll be diving into everything for the 2020-2021 season. So if you have or know any high school, junior, or college angler that may need to see this or interested in competitive fishing at the junior, high school, or college level, make sure you share this video right down at the bottom of this live video. You can hit that share button and never leave this live so you never miss out on any of the action. As always, you can find us right here on Facebook at Dog Talk WV and, of course, on YouTube at Dog Talk West Virginia. If you are not on Facebook, we try to cross-post all of these live videos over to the Facebook page, so you'll be able to view that there as well. And of course, make sure you hit that bell icon on that YouTube channel. That way you can be notified. You'll just get an email letting you know that there is a new video up so you don't miss out on any of the action. But I hope everyone's enjoying their weekend so far. Pretty nasty storm moving in right now, so I hope everyone's off the water and safe. Hopefully you got on some fish. I know there's a few tournaments, so we'll be definitely getting you caught up on all of that and more this coming up week. So very excited episode this evening. Like I said, we've got DION 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤 on, so we got a lot to cover. I'm just going to throw this up here. Just a few topics. Like I said, the youth program in general, what Bass Nation of West Virginia does offer for our local schools and communities and kids. National championship dates. We're going to cover some of that. 2020 Bass Nation of West Virginia Junior High School and College State Championship, like I said, and, of course, the 2020-2021 Trail. So, like I said, thank you all for joining me. We're not going to drag us too long. If you are on and everything sounds good, go ahead and hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up. And like I said, share this with all of your friends. But we will not drag this out any further. We're going to see if we can't go ahead and bring Mr. DION 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤 in. Let's see here. All right. DION, can you hear me, brother? Thanks for joining us this evening, man.
Hey, I sure can, Shane. Thanks for having me on tonight. I really, really appreciate this, buddy.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Well, hopefully you're enjoying your weekend. I know we've talked there a couple times last few days lining all this out. Got a lot to cover tonight. But, of course, more than anything, this is all fun. Get this information out there to the public, all these kids that are interested in such a wonderful event. But, man, before we get going too deep, man, let us know how this, introduce yourself a little bit. What is your role at Bass Nation of West Virginia? I know I said you're the youth director, but give the folks at home a little bit of an idea who you are and what you do, buddy.
Well, and basically that I'm the youth director of Bass Nation of West Virginia. Pretty much that is my role. I run everything to do with the college, the high school, and the junior Bassmasters. Hey, I live up here in Fairmont. I'm easy to reach. Anybody wants to talk about creating a club, getting into a high school club, get a hold of me. I mean, you can go to wvbassnation.org. All of our contact information is there, and I can give my contact information at the end of this show in case anybody has any questions.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely. And I've been around the high school and junior fishing scene just a couple years. And to be able to be around these kids, as you and I both know, one, it takes a lot of work for everyone involved, you included, and the entire staff and board of directors and everyone involved, volunteers over at Bass Nation of West Virginia, to make these events very successful and inviting to all these young kids. So we definitely appreciate everything you do over there. Well, man, Bass Nation of West Virginia, obviously, you know, this COVID mess has definitely put a damper on the 2020 season. Man, what have you all had to do throughout this year, kind of trying to adjust to still try to work these events in? We know these kids don't get very many opportunities to fish tournaments, so I know it's had to been tough on you all this year.
No, earlier in the year, I mean, we originally had the junior high school and college state championship scheduled at Summersville on April 26th. So when all the COVID-19 stuff went down, we rescheduled for June 6th or 7th. I can't remember which. It was the day after the Kanawha River tournament for the adults on the Buddy Trail, and I think it was June 7th. And a few weeks before that, we started having a lot of breakouts and stuff, and I thought, you know what? I'm getting tired of rescheduling. You figure there's approximately 900 permits in this state pulled a year, and our options are limited when we can schedule. So I went ahead and opted to go ahead and hold state championship on the Kanawha River August 23rd on the Kanawha River. Hopefully, I would think things have straightened up by now, but I don't know. Everything's up in the air right now, Shane.
Yeah, it really is, for sure.
And we don't know from one week to the next what's going on.
Yeah, it seems to be changing daily, it seems. I know right now the reports are everyone's been checking on tournaments, trying to follow up what's going on. Right now we're clear to go, but like I said, it's a constantly changing deal. You all have done a wonderful job trying to adapt the best you can, still working in these events. So like you said, some of it's out of everyone's hands. We're going to kind of see what's going to happen. Only a few weeks away at this point, so hopefully everything goes as planned. Get these events in. I know these kids are ready to fish. They're just chomping to get out there and compete. So for sure. Well, man, give us an update. I threw up the kind of idea of what everything we're going to be talking about, a little bit about the youth program. We'll dive into answer some questions here a little bit later. So if you are tuning in, make sure to comment. I'm monitoring comments. Comment a question if you have a question about the youth program at Bass Nation of West Virginia, and we will definitely get to those here a little bit later at the end of the program. But national championship dates. Give us a little idea with all the COVID stuff, things having to get kind of pushed back and rescheduled. Give us an update on the national championship dates, what these anglers that will be competing in our state championship are kind of competing for a spot in.
Yeah, so even though a lot of the seniors have graduated, even though some of these middle school kids that have been fishing in our junior program, Bass has allowed an exemption to go ahead and move forward with the state championships and the national championships to fish in your 2020 respective division. So if you were a senior, you graduated in June or July or whenever they held the graduations, because that's all been messed up too. The high school national championship will be held right now, October 22nd through the 24th on Kentucky Lake and Barkley Lakes. That's where we're normally at the 1st of August. Originally, it was scheduled the week after July 4th weekend. They pushed that back. The same with the juniors. Their tentative schedule right now is October 18th through the 20th on Carroll County, Thousand Acre Lakes in Huntington, Tennessee, which is about a half an hour south of Paris, Tennessee. As far as the college goes, their college national championship right now is tentatively scheduled for October 29th through the 31st.
Gotcha. So that's basically the dates. And if we look at the state championship, our state championship is August 23rd? 23rd. So it is a short turnaround for these anglers to get prepared, but make sure you write down those dates if you are competing for this. This is something that if you do qualify to make it to the national championship, obviously you're going to have a short turnaround, and this gives everyone an opportunity to kind of plan. That's just kind of the way it shook out this year. Kentucky, Barkley Lakes, even Carroll County, not too far away, really. You're talking about 6 hours for most of us, 7 hours max a lot of times. And, of course, colleges to be determined. But, how does somebody qualify? Let's dive into the state championship just a little bit. Give us a rundown of the state championship.
Okay.
We heard the dates. So how do they qualify for nationals?
Okay, so one thing I wanted to throw in is we have to have our state championship in by October 1st. So we have 5 weeks leeway time. Maybe we have to reschedule. It depends on what's going on. So basically, you have to be a member of a junior or a high school team. Minimum required for high school, minimum required for juniors, 2 members. We have a few junior teams that we can put you in as far as a junior, which is basically 2nd through 8th grade. As far as high school, we have several high schools that allow club tournaments or club teams, and we also have several high schools that do not allow club teams. So these teams that, or these high schools that do not allow club teams, we have community clubs. So you need to get a hold of me, and we can discuss all that. We've had high schools that had high school teams. They've reversed their decision and decided not to have a high school club. I don't know what the issues were, but we have several counties that don't allow that. We're working with several counties right now. I can tell you Lincoln County and Nicholas County, we're working on adding high school teams to those counties, so which is super great. And I appreciate those people that stepped up and to help out with those clubs as well.
Well, yeah, and as you and I both know, and for the folks at home that don't realize, even though bass fishing, competitive bass fishing at the pro level's been around for years, the junior high school and even collegiate level, that's something that's just now really gaining a ton of steam over the last 4 or 5 years, and now more than ever. So we can only hope that schools, local communities would recognize more and more every year as exposure gains for youth fishing and opportunities, and tons of scholarship money available to these kids too, which is unbelievable, knowing that a kid now could go to college and get some of that, if not all of it in some cases, paid for by being on a fishing team. That's something very exciting to see. Still got you, DION?
So, yeah, you're still in there. Your
gotcha,
video's running a little slow. I don't know. I think we're getting ready to get some storms coming through here.
Yeah, we got some storms.
Yeah. So if we can jump on the state championship.
Absolutely. Let's get into the state championship. Give the folks the update on the state championship, a little bit about what they need to know.
So originally I had scheduled the first fall trail tournament on August 23rd out of Kanawha River, which is what we normally do. It's the first one there. With the rescheduling and the limited permits that was available, I went ahead and pulled our first permit. Well, I didn't pull it. We already had it. So I changed it to our state championship on the Kanawha River out of the Daniel Boone Ramp on August 23rd. This tournament will be presented by 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. And 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤, if you don't know, is a superb tournament trail out of Charleston. Man, these guys are great. I mean, Lyle and Bob and the crews down there, Lyle and Tony and the crews down there, they do a great job. We did it a few years ago when we had a weigh-in at Cabela's with 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. Wow, what an awesome tournament and weigh-in. I mean, these guys helped out tremendously, and I'm glad to have their support again. And I know I just want to take a moment to thank, and I know maybe most of you know or you don't know the recent passing of Bob and Vicky, the founders of 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. Man, he supported youth so much, and he supported us, and I can't thank him enough for what he's done to help us out and help his sport out. So I just want to take a moment of silence to recognize Bob and Vicky for what they've done.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great, man.
Thank you, everybody.
For sure. He's done.
You know,
so much.
everybody I think's got a Bob and Vicky story. I think everybody's got a Bob and Vicky story. I mean, I can tell you, I just want to tell one quick story. I mean, when we went to Douglas on the state team, I'd been down there for 5 days. Matt Gower and I went down and fished. We stayed together for a few days in a hotel and pre-fished, and we had a few days fishing left, and I'd been fishing by myself for 5 days. And I said, hey, anybody want to go pre-fish with me? And nobody said anything. And Bob came down to the next house down that we rented, and Bob goes, I'll go with you. And we went out, and I said, hey, I found these humps out in the middle of this creek, and I cannot catch them, but there's fish on it. Bob threw out the first cast, and he rips in a 3-pounder. And the next cast, he rips in a 4-pounder. And I'm going, what are you doing? And he goes, well, here's what I'm doing. And he showed me. Trust me, I learned a lot from Bob, and all we can do is carry on the legacy. And I think the crew at 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 is doing that. And I want to thank them big time for that.
Absolutely. Definitely big things in the works. Remembering Bob and Vicky, like they said, and even in our interview there just a few weeks ago, remembering Bob and Vicky here coming up here towards the September 19th for a big tournament in Summersville. But, past that, 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 is going to continue on in good hands. A lot of exciting things. And like you said, that his legacy, their legacy is going to live on, and we'll get to enjoy the fruits of their labor over the years. So that's very exciting. Absolutely. But for sure. So state championship.
So state championship, presented by 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. Thank you guys. Tony, Lyle, you guys stepping up and doing this. That's a big help for us. Registration forms for the state championship will be on our website, wvbassnation.org, tomorrow night. That'll be the junior and high school registration forms. As far as the college, I think we ran into a hurdle with college with some of our college teams. I know Chase is listening right now. I don't know how many college teams we'll have. We did have 4 last year. I don't know if Fairmont State will have any this year. Right now, WVU is not allowed to fish. That is their directive they got from the WVU president, that all club sports are suspended for the entire 2020 season. So I've reached back out to some of the WVU teams to say, hey, if you fish state championship, things change. What can we do with that? So that's a work in progress. I think Marshall University is good. Chase, I hadn't got to talk to you, but I think you guys are good. Now, if we only have one college team there, whether you got to fish or not, I don't know. That's the word I'm waiting to hear on. Now, as far as the high school state championship, if you have not paid state and national dues, you need to do so within the next couple weeks. That way I can make sure everybody's registered with Bass, make sure everybody's copacetic with the Bass guidelines to enter the national championship. The state championship is no entry fee. That means it's not like the regular season trail where you pay $50 tournament. These are the state championship is free entry. We will take the top 2 high school teams. They will advance to the national championship at Kentucky and Barkley Lakes in October. Now, that is midweek. So you need to keep that in mind as well. Now, for the junior teams, we will take the top 2 junior teams to advance to the national championship at Carroll County Lake. The highest college champion from this championship will advance to the college national championship at the end of October. I think it's October 29th through November 1st, right in around that area, but the site is yet to be determined. And the biggest thing what I'm doing this year, and I know the Kanawha River is tough. Trust me, I already fished the Kanawha River this year. I busted a lower unit. I busted a spline gear, and thanks to Lyle, he towed me back part way, but I blanked in that tournament. But yet in the Buddy Trail, we still finished in the top 15 after the Mon River tournament. But Kanawha River's tough. And everybody that messaged me has said how bad it's going to be on the Kanawha River. So here's what I decided to do. So I know there's a local club going down south of Charleston going out. So what we're going to try this time is a 5-fish bass limit. That is largemouth, smallmouth, and spot. No minimum size. So you can bring in 5 6-inchers. You can bring in 5 4-inch ones. You can bring in 5 3-pounders. So our goal in this is we want kids to weigh in the fish.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what it's all about. It's learning about the whole thing of fishing, calling, taking care of your fish in the live well, especially in the heat of the summer. So, and that's something else, I want to throw in there that I didn't have in my notes was the boat captains. You cannot thank the boat captains enough for what they do. Majority of the boat captains, I would say maybe 25%, have nothing in this. Shane, I think you can attest to that too. You volunteer your time to boat captain kids. I think several of us do that as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's something I definitely wanted to hit on. Not for me or you or anyone in particular, but it does take an absolute army of folks to give these young anglers an opportunity to even be able to hit the water. You don't have to have a brand new 21-foot boat with a 250 with all the latest gadgets and gear on it to be able to take these kids fishing. That's something that I know it's always intimidating for a lot of new anglers, intimidating for potential boat captains. Obviously, you want to be able to provide them with a working in order boat, and obviously live well lights and all the necessities. But listen, these kids are gracious just to get the opportunity to fish. And I promise if double the amount of boat captains, you reach out and say, hey, listen, you know, I don't have any kids to take. I'm free this weekend, whatever the case may be. Offer up your time. And a lot of these teams, not all of them, but a lot of them, try to take care of their boat captain very well, which is always just such a commendable thing to do. It's not a have to. We volunteer our time because we love to do it. But if we could get more anglers involved that has boats, a tracker with a 9.9, as long as it's got all the working live wells and lights and kill switch and all the safety necessities and all the criteria to meet to fish a tournament, that's the most important thing. There's a waiting list of kids in schools like DION, like you just said, man, that, you know, that could potentially have 10, 15 kids on a waiting list because they can't find a boat captain. It would be awesome to see more boat captains than what's ever needed at a tournament. So it's definitely all about the youth. It takes an army for sure. And I know for me personally, totally changed my perspective of tournament fishing, of the potential of tournament fishing, seeing how pumped up these kids are having this opportunity at such a young age, when you and we didn't have that opportunity to be able to fish in school. So it's definitely something very important, and definitely shout out to all those boat captains and volunteers, parents, schools. I mean, especially the schools, you know, the schools are that's got a teacher that stepped up to sponsor a club. Those things are big, and a lot of folks can learn from some great folks ahead of them that's made it work. So for sure, I'd love to see more and more people get involved with the youth program.
Yeah, and just to add on that, I think it's growing. I mean, we went from 3 or 4 years ago where we were having tournaments on Saturday, having 14, 15 boats, and then we decided to change to Sundays. I know a lot of people do not agree on Sundays. However, it's keeping us off of the WVSSAC sports. You have your spring soccer, baseball, and what have you not that's going on in the spring. And that's really helped us out a lot. So right now in the spring, we only have right now the state championship in the spring. As far as the fall, yeah, we do have to have our minimum 4 tournament trails set by Bass to qualify these kids through. And I'll step into more of that once we get into the 2021 tournament trail.
Well, yeah, I mean, I tell you, let's, if you want, we can dive right into the 2021 trail. Anyone that's just now tuning in, thank you for tuning in. If you have a question for Dion Bright, your Bass Nation of West Virginia Youth Director, he is live right here, video chat, joining us this evening. So if you have a question about state championship, about the 2021 trail, we're going to be covering some of that. Post them up. Comment. Make sure to share this video while you're watching right now. If you're tuning in, hit that share button down at the bottom of the comment section and share this out to all your friends. We want to make sure all these kids, juniors, college, high school anglers, and teams get to see this. This is all their information coming up for some exciting events going on. So thank you all for joining us. But 2021 or 2020, it's always funny saying 2020 already, but 2020, almost 2021 season. Holy moly. Of course, 2020's flew by with all this craziness. But like you said, generally the 2020-2021 season would have 4 fall events with just the state championship in the spring, which would in return obviously give these anglers 3, 4, 5, 6 months to prepare to go to a national championship. Unfortunately, don't get to do that this year, but for this coming up and next year's trail. Give us the lowdown. I know there is some changes or some additions that's very exciting that I know some folks have been asking about. So this is extremely exciting. If you want to dive into that, DION, kind of give you the floor.
Yeah.
I'll monitor some comments and jump into the 2020-2021 season.
Sure. One thing I just wanted to add, as far as the state championship, we will adhere to COVID restrictions. So as far as weigh-in and takeoff rules and stuff, we will come out with those. So I think with our buddy trail that we did at Kanawha River earlier in the year, I think that worked out great. Everybody launched from a couple ramps. We took off at one starting spot. If you had fish, you drove through the weigh-in. So we will come out with weigh-in guidelines the week of the tournament. And I think Ed Powell, our tournament director on the adult side, did an awesome job doing those. He actually did a great job. And we also had that 2-day championship on the Mon River. Worked out the same, and it was great. So as far as jumping into the 2021 season, yeah, it is difficult to say.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
So this thing has been fluid for the last couple of years. So we're just trying to make it more fun. And over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of juniors fishing all of our trails. We've allowed, just to give a background, we've allowed the juniors to participate along with our high school kids in the high school trail. So this year, what I want to start is a high school and junior or / junior trail. So now the juniors will be able to compete for points during the 4 tournaments with their, and what they will do is they will get points the same as a high school. The winner of the junior trail will automatically advance to the junior national championship. Now, normally we just take 2 from the state championship. Now we're taking 1 from the state championship, and we're taking 1 from the trail. These kids love to fish. We've had 8 to 10 teams consistently fish along these. I mean, we still give them plaques. We still give them prizes. But I'm telling you what, let's just give them something more to fish for. I guess is my thought process on this. We're going to try it this year, see how it goes. Like I say, this has been a fluid process. Now, for the high school, we will be taking 2 teams from the state championship, automatically going to the national championship at Kentucky Barkley Lakes. Now, for the juniors, they'll be going to Carroll County 1,000 Acre Lake in Huntington, Tennessee. And we had a great showing last year, and it was awesome to see them kids down there. I was a boat captain during the high school, and I actually cut short a little bit of their practice to run down to Huntington to watch the weigh-in for the juniors. I don't know if it's fair or not for the high school kids because they wanted to stay out till dark and fish. And I said, okay. I said, hey, let's go night fishing. So that was after they didn't qualify. But so what we're doing for the high school now, normally what we have done in the past, and this is BASS rules. I can take the juniors anyhow I please. I could have a farm pond competition and qualify the juniors, but my decision is to have a junior trail, qualify 1 through the trail, and then qualify 1 through the national championship. For the high school, the rules are that we have to have a minimum of 50 unique teams to qualify 2. Now, once we hit 50, we can qualify an extra one, which I kind of went out on a limb this year. And I know our graduation hit us hard last year, but I've always said that, the winner of the trail goes to the national championship. I'm thinking we're going to hit those numbers. I'm really hoping we do. because we got a lot more kids involved coming up for the for the state championship. But automatically we get 2 slots for the state championship, and if we have 50 unique teams or more, we get an extra slot. And that's what I've been saving the trail championship for. Now, something I'm going to add to the high school team trail. What we tried last year was the top 15 automatically qualify the state. We just didn't have enough teams to hold a qualifier. And we've tried it the last couple of years. We tried a Northern Southern qualifier. We've tried one single qualifier. Now, unless I drop the boats dramatically, that's the only way we're going to do it. But I don't think that's fair to the kids. So what I'm going to do this year as an added incentive for the trail. Now, if we meet the minimum number, the trail champion will go to the national championship if we beat the minimum number of boats. One thing I want to add on top of this year is the trail champion, junior and high school, is if they win the points, their entry fees are paid for the following year. Now, if they're seniors, they will be reimbursed their entry fees for that year. So that's something different I want to try this year. Like I say, this is fluid, just trying to see what works out best.
Well,
I don't know how people think about
it. And like you said, I mean, as interest has grown, especially at the junior level, it seems like more and more junior teams are getting involved. These kids are learning to fish, and I'm talking hammers at such a young age now that there's more and more junior anglers. So this just gives, in my opinion, just a little extra incentive to get these anglers and these teams fighting it, duking it out for the points race throughout the season. That's something very exciting.
Yeah, and the whole thing, and I think Melanie brought it up a couple years ago at a meeting down in Flatwoods, was you need to give these kids something to fish for in the trail.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what we're trying to do. And we took that wholeheartedly. I mean, we take every suggestion wholeheartedly. We look at it, see if it's doable, and that's what we want to do. I mean, yesterday on the Mon River, I got my butt handed to me by an 8-year-old out of the back of the boat. I mean, handed to me. That kid can flip, pitch, and I wanted him to run the trolling motor, and actually he wanted to, but
Man, I mean,
but it was an awesome time.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I could sit back and just watch these young anglers fish, and it's funny because even as an adult, I'll find myself watching these kids and picking up something. It could be something so small, minute, and maybe they've caught a fish a certain way that you're thinking, what in the world? But, we all can learn off of each other. So it's very exciting to see the younger kids and youth getting involved. And that's boy, girl, you name it. Everyone is welcome out here to fish these events. Tons of opportunity, and you all definitely do it right. So that's exciting. So you kind of covered of what it takes to qualify for the national championships, obviously through the state championship or the trail. Also, some of the new incentives for the 2020 and 2021 season. Let's see. Schedule. Do you want to cover some of the schedule? If you didn't already.
So one thing, and I can't remember if I pointed out or not earlier in the year. So for national championship and this coming state championship, even if you graduated, so if you're a senior and you graduated in 2020, you're still eligible to fish the state championship. If you were in 8th grade and you fished the juniors, you're still eligible to fish the junior division for the state championship only. Now, once we get to the fall trail, starting September 6th on the Mon River, which is presented by the Marion County Commission, we start the whole new year over. And I go into the schedule now. On September 6th, we'll be on the Mon River at Palatine Park. On September 20th, we'll be at Burnsville. We haven't been there for a couple years, and I think it was a good tournament when we were there the last time. On October 11th, we will be at Summersville. That is going to be a slugfest. I have a feeling there's going to be so many fish weighed in, it's going to be ridiculous. And our fourth tournament trail, which is one I have to make up from scheduling the state championship on August 23rd. We're still waiting to see where we're going to hold that. I'm working with a couple people on that. It may be a river. It could be a lake. So right now I'm still working on that.
All right, fair enough, man. Well, that's the schedule. August 23rd, your state championship, Bass Nation of West Virginia, junior, high school, and college. You heard some of the requirements to be able to fish, what these anglers are fishing for. We've got Ken here live. Thanks for joining in, kid. Everyone else for joining in. John Cooper. John Cooper, will definitely get you in contact with DION. And let's see. Everyone else tuning in. Trail of Dreams, Joe Wiseman, Chase, Marshall University fishing team member. Of course, Greg Tony, buddy, always a pleasure having you tuning in. But if you got a question, definitely comment below. If you are a boat captain, got a question. If you're new and want to get involved as a volunteer or as a boat captain, reach out to me, reach out to DION, reach out to anyone at Bass Nation of West Virginia. Easy, simple process. Basically show up at the ramp, donate your time, sit back, enjoy the day, watch a couple anglers fish. It's always a pleasure. But got your dates for the 2020-2021 season. Let me ask you a couple questions. Do you got anything to add before we dive into just a little bit of Q&A?
Yeah, definitely. So we've been selling a lot of hats. So I just wanted to get into the kind of our profit making. So I think Ken wanted to come up with some of these hats. I wore these at one of the tournaments, and somebody wouldn't dye my hair blue. They said I looked like Skeet Reese in them. But hey, we have the visors. Honestly, they keep you cool. So those are great. We also have the high school junior hats. This is an awesome design that Dana Brown, our former youth director, come up with. And we've been selling pardon my French, crap out of them. And we also have, we have those in the high school, which I think is what I have on now. Yeah. So we have the high school ones, and we also have the regular adult hats. So that's something we do as a fundraiser. We have all those hats available at every tournament, whether it be adult or high school junior. And one thing I wanted to give a shout out to, and some clubs that have seen some national recognition, is Wayne County or Wayne High School. Mel and Bim Maynard, you guys have done an exceptional job down that way. And also Berkeley Springs High School with Patty Caldwell over in that neck of the woods. You guys are the role models of what a club should be and what you guys do. And with the fundraising, it's been noted in Bass Times, and we appreciate everything you guys do. We got some up and coming teams. Grafton High School has a bunch with Crystal Morris. Lincoln County High School, Casey's getting on board with that. And Nicholas County, we're working on Nicholas County High School right now. And on that end, one thing I want to add at the end here is we want to give a big shout out and prayers to a few people. So Prior Weeks, one of our junior Bassmasters, he's been going through a rough trip lately, going through a lot of chemo. So we wish him well. Man, he is a competitor, and he is a top-notch guy from Liberty Junior Bassmasters. We also want to give a shout out to Sammy Wilson from Bridgeport. She's waiting on a kidney transplant. just got hospitalized for double pneumonia. Her mom and dad are huge supporters of us. And also for Paul Eisner. His grandson had some health issues this weekend. So just take a moment to keep these people in your prayers for a quick recovery on everything.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely keep each and every one of those fine folks, young kids, young anglers, and everyone that supports those folks support Bass Nation, support competitive fishing. So our thoughts and prayers are definitely with each and every one of them and their families and their tough time. We've got some strong folks in and around West Virginia, and these kids are no different. So we're definitely we're all one team. We're all one community. So we're pulling for all of you all. Heal up quick. I know we're expecting to see these anglers back out in the water, so that's always definitely keep you all in our thoughts and prayers for sure. Well, man, are you ready for a question?
I think so.
All right.
I'll give you an answer. How's that?
That's fair. Well, I do have a couple questions. I think you've honestly answered a lot of them. I want to definitely just kind of point a few of them out. And just quick answers. And of course, any questions or concerns, you can reach out to me. You can reach out anything Bass Nation of West Virginia related for youth. Reach out to DION. You can, you can email them. Reach out. There's a full contact list on wvbassnation.org. So plenty of information out there. It's all right there for you. But, first and foremost, for high schoolers wanting to start a club, and I know you've hit on this, but what do they need to focus on first? If it is a group of kids at a school that's wanting to start a club, wanting to start a team, what do they need to focus on first? And once they form that club, and I know you'll get to that, but once they form that club, what will they need to really get started? What are the minimum requirements to get going?
Well, if you're talking, that's probably a double sword edge right there. If you want to start a fishing club in high school, go ahead and start one. I mean, by all means, get the groundworks formed, whether you guys go out as a group and fish at a farm pond or whatever. Now, as far as our rules are concerned, what you need is one or two guys on a boat. You need a boat coach. Someone with per Bass Nation rules and BASS rules, as far as the minimum requirements for a bass boat, which means 16 foot or longer, working live wells, working lights, trolling motor, and a boat coach. Now, we can get into the rules, which I have posted on, they'll be posted tomorrow night on each of the entry forms. But on the junior division, the boat coach can help out with the trolling motor. They can help out with pretty much everything, netting fish and helping retie. Now, when you get to the high school level, pretty much the only thing the boat coach can do is sit there and play games on his cell phone and run the big motor. I mean, I keep a cell phone charger in my boat during the high school tournaments. But no, I mean, starting out, by all means, start a fishing club at your high school and then see if you can find volunteers or reach out to us or reach out to me, and we can solicit volunteers to say, hey, these guys are willing to put in the time to fish. And we've done that over the years where we've solicited boat coaches, and we have boat coaches that are willing to help out and volunteer their time, whether they have anything in it or not.
Yeah, and that was a question from Angela Johnson. Angela, I hope that answered your question. And if you want some more info, definitely, it's a simple process. You can get on bassmaster.com. Go up to the kind of the tabs up top. You can get into the youth, the high school links, and really just read through that. There's a ton of information out there for you as far as how do you actually start a club. And of course, everything goes through the state as well. Very simple process. It can be a little overwhelming when you're reading through it all one time. But you got a ton of folks here, and everyone's there willing to kind of help out if need be, for sure. You all are great with helping these anglers get set up.
And Angela, honestly, just give me a call. I think you have my cell phone. I think you've texted me before. We can get together. I'll give you the proper paperwork to fill out. I think that's one of the teams that we're getting ready to start up, and I'm really interested in working with you guys to get that started up.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your question, Angela. I hope it answered it. Also, someone did ask this question. I believe this was Mr. John Cooper. And John Cooper asked the question just a little bit earlier, and you did definitely hit on this, Dion. But what if the school doesn't have a team? How can a kid get involved? I know there's a little bit of a misconception there sometimes, thinking, well, man, my high school doesn't have a team. I guess I can't fish. But for an angler or a kid wanting to fish, high school doesn't have a team. What are their options?
Well, and we do have an option for that, and I can tell you that firsthand. I mean, my wife teaches at Fairmont Senior High School. I started a club at Fairmont Senior High School. However, the administrators refused to accept that as a fishing club. So basically, I just had a denial letter, had the principal sign a denial letter. I started Fairmont Fishing Team, which is what we call a community club. I can tell you another example was Winfield High School. Winfield had a great fishing team. Then the administrators decided, hey, we're not going to do it. So in the southern part of the state, and our former youth director, Dana Brown, helps assist with that club. It's called Upper Kanawha Valley. So it's a community club. So if your school does not allow it, we have options to allow you to fish with our organization.
Yeah, for sure. And that's always, and I know when I first got involved, it was really clueless about the process as far as how do these kids get involved. And there are plenty of options. They've dealt with this in the past, still deal with it, as growth in any sport, always fluid, like Dion said, but they are willing to help you. There's options for you. If your school does not have a team, reach out to them. They will find you a community club to join so you can start competing as well. Anyone else have a question that they want to kind of throw out there while we kind of wrap up this awesome live event right here with Dion Bright, your youth director of Bass Nation of West Virginia? We'll give you all just a minute, but Dion, while the folks give them an opportunity to ask any last-minute questions, if there's anything else you have to add, any special thanks or shout-outs, I like to always give people an opportunity for that. Feel free to do so, brother.
No, I tell you what, I can't thank our sponsors enough for supporting the youth. I mean, you're talking Marion County Commission, you're talking JD Shaky Heads. Man, we have a bunch of them out there. Mountain State Waste. And also for the youth side, which I've been reaching out to and getting a lot of donations for prizes to give out. TH Marine, Ardent Reels, Lose, Strike King. They have graciously donated a lot of tackle, rods, reels to give out to these folks. And we can't do it without support from everybody else. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely, Dion. Computer froze up here just a little bit, everybody. Just bear with me real fast here. We're going to try to pop Dion back in here. Yeah, for sure. Tons of community support. Dion might have got, I know that storm's moving through, so if we lose him, luckily we got all this covered. Kim Bauman, are you looking at a specific date for the fourth tournament? Let's see. We lost Dion. He's going to chime back in. He does not have a specific date yet, Kim. They are actually working off of, actually, we got DION back. We'll bring him in.
It's starting to thunder up here in Fairmont, so Comcast went down.
Well, and I tell you, that's I knew it was coming. So we had a question here I'm going to throw out and let you answer that. Kim Bauman asks, are you looking at a specific date for the 4th tournament? And I was just kind of hitting on that. I know that wasn't set yet.
Yeah, not yet. I really need to sit down and look at it depends on where it's located and whether there's a permit available. So, and that's our biggest hurdle once we get this late in the year, even once you get into the first of the year. A lot of the permits are handed out by the DNR in the first 2 to 3 months. And once you get past that, it's just what you have was what is available to you. So I'll be honest with you, and I'll throw this out there that I'm working with the town of Ravenswood. That's a possibility. They loved us last year, and I think, Shane, that was your first time you emceed our weigh-in for us, and we ended up throwing you in front of the mayor. So,
well, that was my first MC gig for anything. So yeah, y'all threw me right with the mayor, which is cool. We had a great time. Of course, I loved having that opportunity, and you learn fast when you're in front of a bunch of kids and their parents out there that you better make it exciting. But that's what it's about. Listen, it's all about a great time. And of course, I was there, and I know for a fact that they really, the mayor was super pumped up seeing all of those anglers and those kids out there competing, what that can provide for a local community. That's something that we always talk about in the tournament community. So it's exciting, man. Very exciting. I hope that works out for y'all for sure.
Well, and that's just a wait and see right now. And like I say, he's got to present that yet to his city council. But it's a wait and see thing. But yeah, they were excited. But one thing I wanted to add, and whether it be adult or high school, when we come to these communities, we need to support these communities because they want us there. Man, they track those dollars that we spend there, and it's unbelievable of the income that we actually bring into these communities. And you can't speak volumes enough about what we bring, whether it be 40, 50 high school teams into a community, whether it be stopping and getting gas and ice, or even staying in a hotel in that local area. I mean, it's huge for the local economy.
Yeah, and I feel we talk about it on here a lot. I think that's our proving ground. I don't think a lot of communities always realize the impact that a bass tournament can have. But the ones that do see it, and organizations and trails and events are able to work with local communities, and they see the benefit, other communities will learn from them as well and see the potential there. So that is huge. Spend your dollars there in that local community that's hosting an event. Fill up your tank before you head home. Grab you a quick bite to eat. Like I said, ice, gas, fuel in the morning. If you need gas in the boat, it's always kind of nice to have it ready. But you just swing in, hit that gas station. That's local to them. Fill up. So, yeah, there's a lot that we can do as anglers to support the local community as well. So that allow us to come in. So, for sure. Wonderful opportunities all across our great state of West Virginia for folks to get involved. So, well, DION, I appreciate your time, buddy. For everyone at home, I hope you enjoyed this interview, kind of live stream meeting / everything Bass Nation of West Virginia, youth opportunities and fishing, especially the state championship and the trail. DION, appreciate your time. I know that storm's going to blow you out of the house. Hopefully not. So hunker down. We appreciate your time, and you're always welcome here.
Well, Shane, you're breaking up pretty bad on my end, and I'm pretty sure it's my signal on my end because I'm sure you got great signal down there in the Kanawha Valley. man, I appreciate for what you do. I mean, you volunteer your time as a boat coach, as an MC. Appreciate your support. And like I say, if listeners out there haven't seen some of these national talk shows like Bass Talk Live, Straycast, Ike Live, this is West Virginia's own of all of those three put together. And I think Shane does an awesome job. He's got the best interest in all the fishing communities. I don't care if you're fishing bluegill, crappie, muskie, catfish, or bass. I mean, he's got his best interest in everything. So it's great to have you.
Well, man, I really appreciate those kind words, and have always enjoyed getting to know you over the last couple years. So it's always my pleasure. I'd love to see more people get involved in the youth. So we appreciate everything you do over there at Bass Nation, West Virginia, youth director, and not only that, but there's a lot that you do outside of even that. And we really appreciate you, man. One quick question before I lose you, and Ken might be able to chime in later if I lose you, but Dustin Holland wants to know. I'm not gonna comment that, Dustin. You can take it up with that wonderful wife of yours, but he would like to know that his wonderful wife is wanting to attend the weigh-in at the state championship. Currently, if they wear masks and social distance, is spectating available? I know that information will be released soon, but currently, what's the ruling on that? Do you know?
Right now, as far as attending the state championship, we will provide the rules at a later date, depending on state guidelines. And I thought that question was going to be from Bo because he's kicking my butt in bass fantasy fishing. And he texted me the other night saying, "Hey, you need to learn how to pick teams on your BASS elites." But no, right now we'll put out the guidelines here in a couple of weeks. I mean, like I say, Ed Powell, our adult tournament director, did an awesome job with our guidelines with the 2 buddy trails we were able to hold. And we may follow guidelines with that, but we'll decide that as a board, and we'll put that out to everyone. Yeah,
and I'll make sure, obviously, Bass Nation, West Virginia, you all do a great job. I'll make sure to share that information with everyone as well as soon as that gets released. So make sure we get that out. Of course, everyone wants to be able to watch. So definitely gonna get that info out to you. Well, Dion, we appreciate your time, buddy. Thanks again. And until the 23rd, I'll have to tell you what I'll tell everybody else, but I'll see you on the water, brother. We appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you, Shane, man. I appreciate your time, buddy.
All right, buddy. We'll see you soon.
All right.
All right, bye. All right, and there you have it. Dion Bright, I hope you enjoyed that. We ran a little bit longer than I think we expected to, but a great time talking about everything for the state championship. August 23rd, there is still time. The entry forms and everything will be up on the West Virginia Bass Nation website, wvbassnation.org. So you'll be able to find that there. Print that off at your convenience so you can get registered. This is exciting things coming up for the 2020-2021 season. Now a junior actual trail where someone will qualify to go to the national championship. That's going to be awesome to see. So a lot of fun things. I mean, extremely wonderful things happening. For the ones that did tune in, Larry and Violet Vance, wonderful people. Shout out to them. Thanks for joining in. Patty Caldwell, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate everything you do. Dustin and Donna Holland, thanks for tuning in. Brian Skidmore, Ken, Bass Nation, West Virginia president, Kim, John Cooper, everyone that's tuning in, thank you all. Share this video. Get this info out to everybody, especially these kids that may need this information, okay? But let me give you just a quick little update on what's coming up for tomorrow. If you remember, this is your double live event for the weekend. We had Dion on tonight, and of course, tomorrow night, live, unscripted episode, Matt Ball, your 2016 KBF Kayak Bass Fishing National Champion. What are we going to discuss? We're going to discuss a little bit of everything. You know, Matt's a wonderful angler. Done and seen a lot in the kayak fishing community and tournament community. Wonderful man, family man, a lot of insight to give us. So we're going to dive into a little bit of everything. Like I said, unscripted. We're going to see where it goes. We all like to talk fishing. So tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. For that live with Matt. So very excited about that. Also, a quick little shout out to our buddies. I know that you've seen the post, and if you haven't seen, we're going to go ahead and throw it up here. 2020 TBF Junior World Championship on Mosquito Lake. That was Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And, of course, West Virginia's very own West Virginia Bass Federation anglers and R.D. Bailey Junior Bassmaster anglers, Austin Craze, Luke Stewart, boat captain Michael Samples. They show up. They go to Mosquito Lake. They're leading the tournament after day one overall. Mind you, these kids are quite a bit younger than a lot of the other anglers. Stuck it to them, 9-14 day one. Come in with another solid bag day two. Drop to, I believe, second overall with a little over 18 pounds. Ended up fourth place overall. Fourth place overall. TBF Junior World Champions. Your Eastern Division champions. Congratulations, Luke and Austin. Boat captain Michael Samples, thank you, brother, for relaying all that information to me and keeping me updated. It's a much appreciated for sure. And like I said, biggest thing is we want to recognize these two young anglers. And DION was just talking. These two young guys, as junior anglers, actually weighed the largest bag at Summersville just last year. Beat all the high school anglers, and here they were fishing in the junior division. These kids are hammers, so congratulations to Luke and Austin on a wonderful tournament. West Virginia is so proud of you all. Of course, before we go, the giveaway, there still is the 2,000-page like giveaway going on. Like I said, had a busy weekend this weekend with the lives. We're going to push really hard for this, try to get this 2,000 likes done very quickly in the next few weeks. Of course, these fine sponsors of this event giving away some awesome product. And, of course, that is my friends over at Ridge Runner Rods, Dwight Walls, custom built and repairs rods, donating a rod, Elevation Sports in Beckley, anything and everything, hobby sports, kayak fishing, you name it, they have it. Wonderful, wonderful people over there support the tournament community. Of course, Bass Nation of West Virginia. We've got some hats to give away. JT's Custom Jig, Jason Turner, wonderful angler. Wonderful guy, giving back to the tournament community. And if you don't follow his page, make sure to give it a like and a follow. Awesome guy. And he's got some anglers that you are using his products. And I'm telling you, you need to follow his page. You'll see some of the fish that his stuff catches. But also, Great Outdoors Marine, awesome hat to be given away, and much more. But to everyone at home, thanks for tuning in. I know I said that already, but it means a lot. We cover everything and anything and everything bass fishing in and around West Virginia. Hoping to expand out a little bit further, reach out to a little bit bigger crowd here over the next few months as things develop. But very excited. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for your time this evening. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. again, Eastern Time, live with Matt Ball, your KBF National Championship. But any question, concerns, shoot them out. Thanks for all for joining this evening. And until next time, we'll see you on the water. Y'all have a great night.